So, a major new development in the story of Donald Trump and the attempted assassination on Donald Trump. Today, we got the news that that U.S. media reports state that there may be an Iranian plot to assassinate former President Donald Trump. This is, of course, coming off the back of briefings that numerous people in the American media have received from senior intelligence officials in the United States. And basically what they're saying is that some time ago, they began to receive intelligence that Iran, which is an inveterate enemy of the United States, was planning or at least plotting to assassinate former President Donald Trump. This is something that has been in the making for quite some time, and we'll get into why that is the case. We'll give you some of the background about Donald Trump's relationship with Iran, why it's so testy. But this is a major new development in the assassination controversy that we've been hearing about for some time. But just to be clear, just off the bat to begin with, the intelligence agencies and all the reports that we're seeing right now are trying to make clear that the assassination attempt that took place last Saturday by Thomas Mathew Crooks, a 20-year-old shooter who shot at President Donald Trump at a rally, this has nothing to do with so far at least, there's nothing confirmed that this has to do with the plot by Iran, but it is one of the numerous threats to President Donald Trump's life. So with that said, just to make clear that this so far does not have any links to the Thomas Crooks shooting, let's talk about what these reports are saying about this Iranian plot. So what it's saying is that what numerous media reports are saying is that a couple of months ago, news or intelligence surfaced that was acquired by the American National Security Council, which is really one of its top national security and intelligence bodies, that there may be a plan by Iranian authorities to assassinate former President Donald Trump. This intelligence was acquired from a human source and then was passed on to the United States Secret Service. The Secret Service, of course, is responsible for the protection of the president, as well as senior officials, as well as presidential candidates. So they not only protect U.S. President Joe Biden, but also top presidential candidates like Donald Trump. And this intelligence from the NSC was passed on to the United States Secret Service, which also then passed it on to the Trump campaign, that there may be a threat to the life of former President Trump. They also, these reports indicated that there was increased chatter in in Iranian space about Iranian social media space and so on and so forth about plans to retaliate against Trump and to assassinate Donald Trump. So this was something that has been developing for some time, and after that, the Secret Service raised the security that it had around the Trump campaign, around key people, around President Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump himself, as they would in response to any threat of this nature. So lots of conversation about whether the Secret Service is actually taking Trump's security seriously. On one hand, you can say that, okay, they have raised the security levels and around Trump after this information came in, but it only heightens the scrutiny of the Secret Service, because if they knew, and what the reports have also clarified is that they did know, the Secret Service did know before the assassination attempt by Thomas Mathew Crooks that something like this could happen. There is a threat to the life of the president made by a foreign government and foreign intelligence agencies, then should they have been doubly sure to safeguard the president and to provide for his security. So of course this is only going to heighten the questions on the Secret Service. But the Secret Service did of course pass on that information through the Trump campaign, and it also specifically warned the Trump campaign, these reports say, against doing outdoor rallies, because outdoor rallies, it's much harder to vet people, to physically securely check them, to secure the area. When you do an indoor rally, it's easier to control the flow of people inside a particular venue. You can check them for weapons and so on and so forth, and so it's easier to guarantee security. So they warned the Trump campaign against an outdoor rally, and of course the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where the Thomas Crooks assassination, the attempted assassination attempt took place, was an outdoor rally. So in contravention of what the Secret Service was telling the Trump campaign, which had the Secret Service, of course, as we already mentioned, did up its security of the Trump campaign after these reports came in. So that's what we have now in terms of the basic details of what has happened. Numerous security officials briefing the media about these security preparations and this potential threat to Donald Trump. But why exactly? The big question is, why exactly is this happening? And the major thing that you might want to know is that under President Trump, he was of course president from 2017 to 2021, the relationship with Iran took a major nosedive. Remember that Trump was the man who cancelled the Iranian nuclear deal that the Obama administration had come up with. He was the one who cancelled it, said it was a terrible deal that had been negotiated to cap or slow down Iran's development of nuclear weapons in return for some removal of American sanctions. He was someone who stopped that. He was also someone who was responsible for ordering the assassination of General Soleimani. He was, of course, the Quds Force commander, which is of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. And of course, that's a lot of jargon. But what you need to take away from this is Qasem Soleimani was perhaps a national celebrity in Iran. I take it from me. I've been to Iran, and all over Iran there are posters of this of the gentleman, of the general. So while the international community has forgotten him, the Iranians haven't, because in 2020 he was assassinated at the order of the U.S. government. The United States government, of course, fired. He was in Iraq, and the United States government, of course, ordered a strike on Soleimani and several other top Iranian commanders were killed in that attack. And it was something that had a massive repercussion for the Iran-America relationship. In fact, Iran also retaliated against U.S. forces in the region. Of course, there were no significant deaths, and the matter did not escalate significantly beyond that. But I have to communicate to you that this was seen as a major insult to Iran, a major attack by the U.S. forces on someone who was seen very much as a national hero. And Soleimani's death has put several Trump administration officials in the line of fire for Iran's government. What we know for a fact is that in the past there have been threats against the life of very senior Trump administration officials, like former National Security Advisor John Bolton, who's a very noted Republican hawk on Iran. He's called for regime change in Iran, and he was Trump's National Security Advisor. There was apparently a threat to his life as well from Iranian agencies. Other National Security Advisors who have advised Trump have also faced a threat to their lives by Iranian agencies, who have, of course, been looking to extract a price, to take revenge on the Trump administration for the killing of Soleimani. So, of course, this latest report of a threat to assassinate former President Donald Trump comes on the back of all of that, and therefore is not entirely new. Now, Iran, of course, has completely denied this accusation. In fact, its Deputy Foreign Minister, Ali Bagheri Kani, has come out. He's given an interview to the noted Indian-American journalist Fareed Zakaria. He's rubbished this. The Iranian mission in the United Nations has also denied this. It has called this it's said that this report is ridiculous, that it is not based on the correct facts. So they have absolutely made clear that there is they dismiss these reports entirely. A very senior Iranian diplomat, of course, Ali Bagheri Kani, the Deputy Foreign Minister, also coming out and saying that Iran had nothing to do with any, has nothing to do with this sort of plot. So again, Iran very strongly denying its involvement in anything of this sort. But of course, the U.S. media very well briefed by American intelligence agencies. So intelligence agencies at least seem to be convinced enough to have passed on that information to the Trump campaign, to have passed on that information to the United States Secret Service. So we'll have to keep an eye on this story as it develops in the aftermath of the attempted assassination of former President Trump on Saturday. Now you have this new development. We'll absolutely keep you updated on the latest on this story, as well as Donald Trump, the Republican National Convention, and other news coming from the U.S. election campaign. Thank you so much for watching India Today Global.